Head football coach Brad Laird of the Demon football team, 24-17, went down to defeat at Southeastern in a very hard contested game. Now home for 2 weeks in a row, playing Nicholls Saturday at 6 in Turpin Stadium. Coach Laird, the game Saturday, full of frustration, missed opportunities, and certainly a good performance by Southeastern. Talk about the game.
Yeah, a tale of two halves. Not that we played bad the first half. We didn't capitalize. I think if you go back and look at it, even the score 21-3, you take away the second play of the game, at that particular time. Then after that, it was just some missed opportunities. Defensively, they run a punt back to the 8-yard line, are able to convert a score there. And then the second, or the other scoring drive in the first half, defensively, we get them a sack and get them in a 3rd and long situation. We get called for holding. Then they hit another 3rd and 4 big play to get down into the red zone, end up scoring. And then offensively, we had some opportunities in the red zone. Didn't take advantage of a couple of turnovers. So, you look both in all 3 phases, I guess, in the first half, just really missed opportunities. And in the second half, we were able to take advantage of those a little bit. We made a big play defensively with the sack and touchdown to get us to a 1-score game. But prior to that, you look at us offensively, only having 10 points, but really moved the football. Between the 20s with a 20-play drive, a 16, a 14, a 13. 2 of 6 in the red zone. We were 12 of 13 the past 2 games. 2 turnovers. We were 0 turnovers through the first 3 games. So, those, when you do those types of things, you got a lot to overcome. But proud of our guys. We battled. We played physical. Our guys played hard. Proud of that. That's going to help us in the long run. Our guys were very resilient and stayed in the football game. Just came up a touchdown short.
Now you turn your attention to a Nicholls team that was picked second in preseason polls that has a ton of all-conference players on both sides of the ball. They're not sneak up on anybody this year. Talk about Nicholls and that challenge.
Well, I'm excited to be at home. Golly, it seems like it's been forever, since we've been here, the Grambling game. So the opportunity to have Nicholls at home, 16 starters back, an All-American kicker. You look at them offensively, I think 2 things you look at. One, you look at the quarterback who's been playing since a freshman. He drives that bus. He drives that bus for that football team, and you can see that. But also up front, they got 4 out of 5 starters back, and for them it starts up front. Offensively, very balanced football team, averaging 432 yards. 206 rushing, 236 passing. So they're very balanced. Defensively, 7 starters back. You look at a couple guys up front that create havoc, tackles for loss, get you behind the sticks, very active defensively. You look overall a football team that was picked second in this conference, and they're still there. They're 3-2. They go beat a Kansas team on the road in overtime, and 2-1 in conference. So. Our football team's looking forward to that opportunity. We're looking, A, to be at home, but also, B, to get back out there. In a game of football, when you come off a loss, you got 7 days. It's in basketball, baseball, it's a little bit different. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to prepare this week and understand that we got to be more consistent in our approach Sunday through Friday, and also the 60 minutes that we play on Saturday.
The conference race already in September has shown that anything can happen on any day. For your team, 1 loss is certainly not a death sentence at all. It's an opportunity to even things up with a lot of other teams if you can score a couple wins in the next few weeks.
Week in and week out in this conference, the opportunity to win is going to be there, the opportunity to lose. I know that sounds crazy, but in this conference, I mean, you go back, you look at Nicholls and Lamar. I mean, at halftime, it's a close game. Nicholls pulls it out in the second half. Nicholls is beating Sam beats UCH. So, I mean, there's a lot of turnover you got right now besides McNeese, who I think is 3-0 in the conference. You got a lot. They're sitting there with 1 loss. So, as we move forward, we still have the opportunity to control our own destiny by what happens Saturday and as we move forward in this conference.
As you start October, you got a month with 3 home dates. You got a month that has you playing 3 of the top-rated teams in the conference, Nicholls, Sam Houston, Central Arkansas, back-to-back-to-back. So I guess if you have a schedule like that, you want to start it at home.
Yeah, no doubt. To be able to, like you talked about, have two of those 3 here in Turpin Stadium in front of our crowd, in front of our community. That's what we're excited about. You know, the Southland Conference is going to be competitive week in and week out, and to have the opportunity to get this one home. And again, our goal this week that we talked about yesterday is be 1-0. The only thing we can focus on is what's going on the now, and that's getting prepared for Nicholls and you know, making sure, I think, be consistent, overcoming adversity. You know, you look back at the game in the first half, you know, you get the first big play right off the bat. They do some things different. You know, how do we handle that as a staff? How do we handle that as a football team as we continue to learn each other in those types of situations? So another learning experience that we had Saturday that as we walk away from it, not just the X's and O's, but just learning more about this football team and what it's about and what we can do moving forward.
One thing you learned Saturday is the Demons do have a running game. Talk about the running game production, and in particular Jared West.
You know, we've talked about this in the past, and I know you know, some things that me and you have discussed is you know, what's the defense doing to us to try to stop us offensively. Southeastern did come in with something that they had not shown on film, but it allowed us to get the running game going. So, and we were able to do that up front. I thought our guys battled up front. Timmis Bonner and Kenny Sheldon, a couple guys that, you know, Timmis that had the knee injury probably played a third of the snaps. But contributed. Kenny Sheldon at center that got us in the right, whether it's protection, odd front, four-man front. You know, so did a great job up front, and then Jared West. You know, you can call it a breakout game this season, but it was just the opportunities that he got this football game because of what the defense did, but not just him carrying the ball, but the way he carried it. You know, just breaking tackles, the yard after contact that you saw. You know, and he's going to play hard each and every other game, or every game that he's out there, but he had a little, you know, extra incentive this week with the death in the family, and we're all about this family here and in the family that we have at home. So, you know, proud of the way he played in this football game.
Southeastern's defense was kind of rope-a-dope going back to the 70s and Ali and boxing. It was take a lot of punishment, but don't give up the big blow. And ultimately, however, they gave up a lot of yards, but not a lot of points.
Yeah, they you know, kept everything in front of them and made some tackles in the back end, and you know, kind of kept everything deep, forced you to make plays in front. And I thought Marquesian Chapman is another name that I want to talk about. I thought he played hard, you know, very physical at receiver. But they did, you know, they played well inside the 20. You know, defensive red zone, they did a great job. You know, us missing a field goal, having a couple opportunities on fourth down. You got to give them credit. They made the stops. We didn't convert. So that's something that we'll definitely have. We have been good in the past and have to be good as we move forward.
What's the key to victory Saturday night, or keys?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you go against a Nicholls football team and the success that they've had and the type of brand that they play, we got to match their physicality, I think, first and foremost. You know, first downs, again, is going to be huge. They're big to try to get you behind the sticks, sacking along. You know, we do a lot better job, just like most people, when you got second medium, second short, and the same thing from a defensive standpoint. I think, you know, with some of the things that they're going to give us, you know, they want to run the football, they want to be physical. They got two guys outside. That's a threat if you try to load the box. So we got to eliminate the big play. We got to keep things in front of them. We got to make them earn it from a defensive standpoint. And I think discipline is going to be huge again. We'll see some option from them with Chase at quarterback. So, you know, those are the things that I look at that we got to do good on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.